Hello! It is day 5 of the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo? Question mark. It is MISC day. I am MISC boy. Hear me roar. I don't know what's going on behind me. They were here when I got here. Let's check out MISC and what it's got available today, and then the website, and see how... Do we think the Hull E's already sold out? Maybe. What are these guys doing? Are they trying to get Pico in the elevator? Do not know what these guys are doing. I'm sure I'll see it in a YouTube video later or something. They'll be like, oh, it's the guys with Pico. Hopefully, I don't know what's going on. So we are at the MISC day of the Expo, and there's certainly going to be some ships you're going to want to have a look around. You're going to want to have a bit of an explore of. Let's have a look at the map. We've got the Hull A and C downstairs in the Holo Suite, but I was hoping to see a bit more, to be honest. We've got all the Freelancers, we've got all the Reliants. I don't like the Reliant, although I do like it more than the Nomad, admittedly. And then we've got some cool ships in the middle. We've got the Starfarer Gemini, but not the normal Starfarer. What is this? This is weird. So let's have a quick look around. We've got the Prospector. We've got that mining ship, which I recommend everyone tries. I suspect that most players that are serious about Star Citizen, when the game is like live, will have a Prospector in their toolbox at some point. It is not if you're just a combat player, admittedly, but it is that mining ship. It's going to have a lot of utility, and it's going to allow you to experience those sort of mining in game. And obviously, mining is the most refined gameplay loop at the moment. And talking about being refined, 3.12 brings refining into the game as well, so it's even more useful. We've got the Starfarer Gemini here, which is the military version of the Starfarer. I believe its face mount is swappable out for the gas mining mount. This is more of just a more armoured container for fuels and gases and stuff, and liquids, to get through sort of like more dangerous zones. But as I said, I believe the faceplate is changeable with the actual normal standard Starfarers one. It's worth having a look around this ship. It is one of the first big ships we had in game. It is very cool, and yeah, once we actually have fuel and larger systems and larger gameplay area and lots of the other stuff going on, then this is going to be really important. When we have that gas mining, when we have the ability to make money from mining and refining fuel and that sort of stuff, that's really going to come into its own. So over here, we've got the Razors here. So these are the sort of like racing ships. Now I say sort of, because you've got the standard racer here. You've also got the LX and, what's this one called? I have forgotten. And the EX. So the EX is basically a more stealthy version. So fast, stealthy. This is sort of like a listener ship, a tracking ship, or whatever you want to use it for. A stealthy ship for being snacky. And then you've got the LX, which is more of the drag racing variants, is the idea. And then you've got the more standard racer. So I suspect that the LX and the normal racer, you're going to be using those for different courses, basically, when you go racing eventually. Hopefully we'll have racing in the not too distant future properly in game. These guys are now conga lining. I don't know what they're doing. Pico is with them. It's those guys again, but where's Pico gone? Where's Pico? Have they... Oh, there's Pico. He's showing him the Mako. Are they playing like a hide and seek or something? Huh. Right, we've got the Freelancers in here. So, I prefer the Cutlass series. And the Cutlass Black especially, because I think it's so cheap and useful. But these are a nod to Freelancer. And yeah, the Freelancers are a good all-round ship for a small to medium cruise. And they're going to be, I suspect, a big step up from people's starters and second-tier starter ships onto the sort of like larger ships. A mixture of sort of like being able to do mission running, relatively good armaments, being relatively fast, good ship systems, missiles, all that sort of jazz, as well as good cargo capacity. It makes the ships really interesting. And for a lot of people, I think they're their sort of like favourite ships. They love the way they look. Again, not massive fan myself. I'm confused by the skins slightly. So this is the DUR. So the DUR basically is the exploration variant. It's got long-range exploration gear, so better at scanning and finding things, as well as, I believe, more fuel tankiness for getting there. But other than that, it brings the same sort of freelancer flavour. We've got the Max. So the Max, I believe, has more engines, or at least on paper originally it did, and larger cargo capacity. It is the cargo variant. And I was like, when we originally saw the Freelancers, I think it was the only one that had a major hull change with extra engines, effectively. Because let's have a look here. Yeah, so here we've only got a pair of, what, are they nacelles? I don't know what the technical term for some bits of ships are. And here we've got two on each side, two pairs. So that's quite interesting, at the very least. So we've got the MISC variant over here, which is the missile variant. It's basically got a missile loader, so it can take missiles from elsewhere on the ship to basically reload its missile armaments while it's in combat, is the idea. The Freelancer MISC is a limited edition militarized variant of the classic motion tile ship developed by the IAE. These were produced in very small quantity due to some early payload incidents. This version sacrifices the majority of its cargo space to make way for missiles. Yeah, so it's got loads of missile storage and the ability to load its missiles during combat was the idea. So that's a very interesting missile boat there. Most other missile boats in game that they sort of like produced either fire very like large torpedoes or whatever, or have interestingly integrated missile launchers like the Shrike, for example, the Talon Shrike that we're going to see in 3.12. So really looking forward to that. If you like the Freelancers, certainly check them out. And lastly, for the Expo Hall today, in the Holo Suite, we have, what's the Hull A to start with. So the smallest and most affordable hull, the Hull A, is great for those striking out in the galaxy on their own. The Hull A is most similar to the Aurora and Mustang, but lacks the jack-of-all-trades nature, where the others trade cargo for firepower or speed. The Hull A is 100% on mission transport. So it is the starter transporter ship, is the idea, that is just 100% focused on transporting stuff. It's still got that iconic spindle in the middle, and it can retract that if needed. But the idea is that it puts the spindle out and then has these cargo containers on there. We are waiting for Cloud Imperium to finish off the Cargo 2.0 and some other tech, like iCache and stuff, so that we can get the Hull C in game. And we do know that they've been working on the Hull C for a while. We also have the Hull C here. For some reason I thought it was going to be the Hull D. Don't know why that. I think I looked at the map before and it said Hull C, but my brain thinks D. Don't quote me on that. Often called the most common ship in the galaxy, the Hull C is the most produced of the range and is considered by many to be the most versatile, intended to hit the sweet spot between the smaller single-person transports and the massive super freighters that make up the rest of the range. The Hull C offers an expansive modularity of the larger ships while still retaining a modicum of maneuverability, allowed by the low end of the range? You know what I mean, words. So, yeah, as I was saying, the Hull C, very much so, is finished for Squadron 42's needs, as far as we're aware. And Cloud Imperium are trying to get it into the persistent universe. They do need iCache and Cargo 2.0, so they can have lots of large containers rather than billions of small ones. Obviously, loads of little tiny individually tracked assets would cause the service to implode when you had a load of Hull Cs around. So sort of bear that in mind. One of the reasons they need Cargo 2.0. But yeah, the big spindle here contracts so that the ship can land. Obviously, can't carry cargo in the same way when it's contracted, but I'm looking forward to having it in the game. You expect to have lots of missions to sort of escort these, to see them very, very commonly just everywhere in game, moving goods around. So very excited for that. It does sound very cool to me. Let's check out what's on the website. So interestingly, the MISC video for today showed a race course, which is kind of cool, but obviously that's not in game yet, as far as I'm aware, unless it's hidden from my sight, but is in game. So look forward to some stuff like that in the future, potentially. Hopefully they make all these locations properly, and the fact that they sort of have the assets to kind of do these videos suggests to me that they can and will have them at some point in the not too distant future. What's available today from MISC though, so flyable now and purchasable now are all the Freelancer series, as I said. I mean, some of them are pretty cool. I do actually quite like the skin of the Freelancer Max, but not really a massive fan of the Freelancer series. The Prospector, I do think that the Prospector is genuinely amazing as a ship. Cool mechanics with mining and with refining coming in. It's only going to get better. Obviously, you can get all these ships in game. We've got the Razors if you're into racing. You've got the Reliant series as well. But I'm waiting for science and the news van mechanics to come online. We've got the Starfarer. Odd that I didn't see the Starfarer in the hall. It was just the Gemini. But yeah, people that are into the gas mining and sort of fuel refining and that sort of stuff might want a Starfarer. But I suspect people probably want to see where those mechanics go before grabbing one. So something that a lot of people were excited about today was the Endeavour going on sale. Now, the Endeavour is on sale. It appears all its modules are on sale as well. You can see here that my prices have got 20% VAT on as well, so bear that in mind. They are cheaper for you. There's $350 starting through the MISC Endeavour. So the modules maketh the Endeavour, and you can have a wide selection of modules and pair them all up together to do different things. So you can have farms with biodomes, you can have an additional crew pod for more crew and bunks and that sort of stuff, and living areas for those crew. You can have a hangar bay, you can have a med pod, and if you combine the med pod and the hangar bay together, then basically you have a hospital, because that med bay, that med pod is pretty expansive. It is a giant floating hospital. You could also have a research pod if you want to go into the science and potentially crafting and production side of things. And you've got a science pod, again, for similar things. One of them does more data crunchiness, the other one, and I think might even package that, and the other one does the more science and compounds and that sort of stuff. But we have to work out where those mechanics are going, and Cloud Imperium need to tell us what's going on compared to what was originally talked about in the concept. So it might have heavily changed those concepts. It's for sciencey based things. If you want to sort of combine these modules in an interesting way and see what happens eventually, be my guest. A lot of these are cool ideas, but we don't know exactly how the mechanics are going to work at the moment. There's also the telescope pod. The idea of that was that it would go beep, 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 and detect anomalies in the far distance, get information on that, maybe be able to scan them down so you can actually travel to them, that sort of stuff. There was also an overclocking module as well that was supposed to tweak components so that they would be better effectively, and well, you could damage and destroy them as well. So not sure what that is. Maybe I'll see it in a second. We've got the hull series all on sale. The Nomad, does the Nomad replace the Hull A's usefulness? Maybe. Does the Hull A just better than the Nomad? Maybe. I mean, Nomad's multi-role. Maybe it's just that the Hull A is just entirely focused on cargo, and that's a thing. Got the Hull B, the Hull C. It's getting bigger and bigger for the cargo spindles. The Hull C, which is I love the Hull C. I'm looking forward to it being commonly in game. I mean, I like all the Hull series. And then you've got the mega huge super freighters with the Hull D and the Hull E, who are big boys. They're big boys. The Hull E is ridiculous. And it's already sold out. So that was on limited sale. So we've got some Chairman's Club offers as well. So if you're a concierge, you've got the complete MISC pack for, $3,000+ You can buy it for 3,500-ish? Question mark? 3,600-ish. The store credits. And then you've got the Endeavour Master Pack, which has all of the modules in. So if you want to be a farmer, but also... So that's the overclocking mod. Oh! That looks very similar to the ring at the end of Reunion, the Mercury Star Runner little video they did. Question mark. But that's sort of it for today with the stuff that's on offer. If you're really into the idea of a science ship, then maybe the Endeavour's for you. It's certainly one I'd get in game. That said, I actually own a master set because I'm mad. Also, the Endeavour, it is solid for exploration and operating in two parts. So the front of the Endeavour comes off so it can explore and do stuff, leaving the rear section with all the modules on as sort of like a dry lab in space. So there's that as well. It's a really cool ship, but I suspect it's going to be a ship that is put in game as flyable in the far, far future. It is very complex, in my opinion. What skins do we have? We've got the blue and black and the white and black skins that we've seen throughout for the Prospector. We've got all the Freelancer skins that they've sold before. Black one, Storm Surge. Got the same with the Starfarer, black, light grey and Storm Surge. Yeah, an alright day. If you desperately want a Hully, you can try and grab another one at midnight UTC and then 8 AM UTC. So bear that in mind. Check out the Expo Hall, fly some ships, try them out. Definitely try out the Gemini because it's big and it's fun just to run around it. I like the larger ships. Their interiors are amazing. But please tell me what you think in the comments below. Oh, there is a discounted war bond upgrade for upgrading your ship to a Freelancer Max if you wish to, and you get 10 years insurance when you upgrade that, which is they do some unique upgrades which replace your insurance with better insurance, and each day they're doing one of those, and today it's the Freelancer Max, so check that out if you want it. Yeah, as I said, tell me what you think in the comments below. Are you been to the IAE 2950? Are you planning to go there? Are you waiting until the last few days so you can rent all the ships? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Each month we have a ship giveaway. For November, we are giving away a Mercury Star Runner again. This highly anticipated multi-role ship is great for small to medium-sized crews that want to do a bit of everything, whether that be cargo running, data running, missions, combat, smuggling, all that sort of jazz. All you've got to do to be in for a chance of winning one is comment on any of my videos made for November, including this one. More details down below. What am I shilling for today, I hear you ask? Do you hate it when people steal all of your money and your house over the internet? I know I do. NordVPN may have been invented by wizards to help protect your personal data from the prying eyes of the dark web, a sinister cabal of technomancers that grow in power the more they know about your browsing habits. The true story of NordVPN's origins are unknown and lost to the ages, and without using facts, no one really knows how it provides more accessibility to otherwise censored websites or a safer security experience for all that use it. All I know is that it does, and that when you sign up to it, the power level of my bank account grows, and I use it, and maybe you should too.